Las Vegas, Nevada, the 6th annual SCORE Las Vegas Primm 300 off-road race. This is Bob Bauer.
And I'm Erin Needham.
And we're here for our wild event called a Mini Metal Bash. This is going to be a race within a race where you got some regular guys racing for some pretty irregular money. Erin, what do you think we're in for today?
Well, I think after being here all weekend and watching everybody, I think we're in here for a lot of dust, a lot of rocks, possible pit stops, maybe some car damage, and a lot of heart within the racers.
Yeah, that too, but I'll tell you what it's all about. It's all about greed, ladies and gentlemen. They're racing for over $15,000, and the guy that wins it all could win it all. That's a lot of money to some racers who are, like I said, regular guys racing for some irregular money. It's going to be a long day in the desert. Come on along.
We've had a lot of success. Won the Baja 1000, won the Baja 2000, won the Nevada 2000. We're thrilled. What could be better than winning races? And we've been very fortunate in that respect.
I both know I'm going to fish the lie right out of him. So what's he going to say?
What do you think, Carlos? He knows. He's his co-rider right here.
Hit it to win it.
And that's what he's going to tell me he's going to do? Or at the start he's going to pin it and win it?
Well, he's probably going to tell you we're going to go 75%, 80%, but he gets a little aggressive sometimes.
4 laps. How are you going to approach this event?
Well, me and Carlos are going to start the race off, and our approach is to just kind of take it easy the first 2 laps. This race is going to be won in the last lap and a half. Got to get to the end, and to first get to the end, we got to save the equipment and make sure it's available so that they can push it towards the end of the race.
nothing like going across the desert, 80 miles an hour, seeing that hole that this truck just eats that bump up, and it just, the speed, the air coming through the front of the car, just the sensation of the speed, and it's amazing. It's amazing. What a thrill.
Bruce, you guys decided the Mini Metal Bash should come up. I mean, how did you dream up such a deal like this?
I don't know if we so much dreamed it up. It's just that Doug Stewart and myself were talking on the phone, and we decided that it's not right that we only get 4 or 6 people to race against. So we started dreaming up how do we get everybody to show up. So we decided, well, one of the things would be to offer some money and to just start calling all the racers. So the way it really came around is Doug got on the phone and called every racer that had a 7S truck in the last 5-10 years. And he would call me and say, hey, can you email this or can you fax this? And I'd get on the internet and I'd post something, and Doug would call somebody, and then we put together a mailing, we put together a fax, and pretty soon it all just started coming together with a sponsorship package from different companies. And we just wanted a bunch of people to race against, and that's how it came together.
From that is when these tires and wheels want to come up just a little bit, it doesn't fight it too much.
Correct.
But when it comes to crunch time,
Yes.
this thing says, no, buddy, we're not letting you crunch, we're slowing that down. Is that the...
When everything's right, you should have a soft, plush ride, but you should rarely ever bottom your car out.
But, I mean, why can't you do that with a regular shock, a non-bypass? What's the deal there?
Well, you need to have some way to change the valving on the piston. So on a standard shock, whatever valving you put on the valve piston is what you've got. You have it if it's the first inch of travel, or you have it on the 14th inch of travel, whatever travel shocks you have. So bypass just allows you to stage it. If you're to push on this shock by hand, it's very soft in the beginning. You push it all the way down, you can't push it down. It's too stiff at the end.
We are finding out that technology sure has changed in shocks in the last bunch. And it seems that as 7S, there's old guys, old trucks and new trucks, but the difference seems to be bypass or not.
Yes. The state of the technology is we're looking at building internal bypass shocks, which is a twin can shock absorber that has holes drilled in it that allows for very, very progressive valving, both in rebound and compression.
Walked past this little area of yours, and I noticed you had a really big shock on top of your trailer, and then I noticed your shirt, of course, and your shirt is lovely, by the way. So in terms of a new racer, I just want to know a little bit about what bypass is.
Well, bypass is a way to quickly adjust a shock externally, and you can adjust it for different positions also, for different speeds, of various speeds as far as how the thing travels. There's low speed suspension movements, high speed suspension movements, and with a bypass you're able to adjust those individually for rebound and compression.
Well, what's next? We're working on a lot of things here that are new. It's basically you're trying to simplify the whole thing. You got to get the product real reliable, because the whole deal is they have to finish, and you can't make them too complex. You got to keep them as simple as possible, because it all boils down to basic hydraulics. You got to keep the oil in them, and then everything will be fine. And they have to, regardless of how they work, they have to get to the finish line, which is the number one thing.
We know you're in lead, but I thought you'd be in here for maybe tire or something like that. But the hood off is not a scheduled deal. What happened?
Well, we had a fuel pressure problem. Not a problem, an adjustment. We ran a little too much fuel pressure. We
We had some variation because of the heat and the elevation here, and we missed it a little bit. So we backed it off a little bit. Not a big problem, but it's a precautionary move. We dumped some fuel. We're good to go.
You just came off the track. You're hot. You're sweaty. You're bruised. Tell me what's happening out there on it.
The track is the roughest it's ever been. It's just incredible. There's so much dust you can't see anything, and it's very hard.
Why else? Bruce, you're done with the race. What happened out there?
Well, it looks pretty bad. We got an engine problem, and Joel flipped it over. I guess he just, low speed, just turned it on its side, but the engine let go right here, and we just don't really know what's wrong, but it's not going anywhere.
Are you going to let Joel drive again?
Of course, why not? He was, I think he was basically on time equal to the leader, which is Joe right now, and I think he passed just about everybody out there, and you know, these things happen, it's racing, but it's unfortunate we have a motor problem.
Okay, Miguel, question. How big is your engine?
My engine is only a 4-cylinder.
Only a 4-cylinder. Only a 4-cylinder. That's all right. That's all right. So why do you do this, Miguel?
Oh, just to relax a little bit and have fun with the guys.
Relax. SNS Motorsports, you guys, you are done, you're hot, you're sweaty. How you guys are feeling right now?
Happy to be winners.
All right, take me through the race through your guys' eyes in the second half once you started driving.
Okay, well, we got in after second, or just before the finish of the second lap. Road came down through the infield and heading out to pit A. Out of pit A, truck started hitting 280. So pulled over, had a fitting that was coming loose in the radiator, tightened it up, filled up with water, watered up the driver and co-driver, and we were off. No flats all day, and tell you, it was a good event. Brian O'Brien truck was pushing us all the second half, and we managed to stay in front of him. So we're happy about that.
So question of the day, what are you guys going to do with all the money?
We're gonna party.
All on black, baby.
Very good. So you guys can afford now to buy us a beer for interviewing you, right?
We can do that.
Fantastic.
Hey, thank you.
Very good. All right, any closing remarks that you guys want to say to anybody out there?
The truck's flawless.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We had a pretty good day. We haven't had a flawless race in this truck yet, but I think this is the closest we've come.
Beautiful.
So. It was rough. Roughest race all year, so we look forward to the next one.
Good. You guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Here you are. You guys finished. You guys made it. What I want to know about first is, how was that dry lake bed?
The dry lake bed's great. It's flat out open. The problem we had is our truck we could run onto the rev limiter only for a minute or two, and then it cut the whole ignition, and we had to back it off, catch up, and then go again. So the problem was we could only run at 7,000 RPMs for only a minute or two.
Okay. And what do you think the roughest part of the course was?
Had to be mile 20 going across the top. It just first and second gear, barely crawling, just staying away from the rocks. That's all it was, just staying away from the rocks.
And do you think this is rougher than Barstow?
Yeah, there's parts that are definitely rougher than any Barstow out there. So,
Did you see us on the highway?
I just want to say thanks to BFG for great tires. These tires were on the same tires we started with, not a flat. What a perfect tire. Ford trucks are just great. Can't beat them, and that's it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.